Hey, what's up everybody? It's Coach Matt, EliteThrowsCoaching.com, coming to you with week number 3 of our online off-season team training. Now, if you haven't already noticed, we're pretty much working in 3-week waves or 3-week blocks. So week 1, we had you going up to a 5-rep max. Week 2, we had you going up to a 3-rep max. And now week 3, we're going to have the intermediate and the advanced lifters going up to a 2-rep max. So essentially, as you read in the email that accompanies this, you are going to be working up the intermediates to a heavy set of 2 that you can do with great form on your squat, the same type of squat you've been doing on week 1 and week 2. That same squat again, heavy set of 2 with perfect form. The advanced athletes, you're still going to find a heavy set of 2, but because you're advanced, you've been doing this for 3-4 years, you need to really push yourself and find that max set of 2. Beginner squatters, what you are going to do is try to make it harder than week 1 and week 2. So if week 1 you started with a goblet squat holding a 30-pound dumbbell, week 2 you stayed with a goblet squat but you held a 40-pound dumbbell, now let's try your goblet squats with 50-pound dumbbells. You don't want to go crazy and jump up 5 levels and make it as hard as possible. So remember, this is a build-up. Because you're a beginner, because you're just starting out, make it a little bit tougher than last 2 weeks. I'm sorry, not next week, what am I saying? Last 2 weeks, okay? From there, we're going to go on to our assistance movements. Now, just like the last couple of weeks, your assistance movement is going to be that one-legged box squat. So you're going to sit down to a box, you're going to sit down to a bench with one leg on the ground, one leg up in the air. This time, if you used weight last week, try to go a little bit heavier. If you're still able to only do body weight because your balance is off or whatever it might be, just continue to do body weight. Remember, you're not trying to make this impossible. You're just trying to make little jumps every single week. Now, for your accessory exercises, you are going to be doing an RDL with either dumbbells or kettlebells, and the second exercise is going to be an overhead sit-up. So I'm going to show you those right now. When you work with your RDLs, you have to make sure to use proper form. So what I'm looking for is a flat back, a slight bend to your knee, and we want to see you hinging your hips, pushing your butt back as far as possible. So we're going to take a couple of dumbbells, maybe one dumbbell in each hand, a single kettlebell or 2 kettlebells, however you want to do it, and we're going to hold it in front, keeping our back really, really flat. We're going to slight bend in the knee. We're going to hold that slight bend as we push the hips backward. As you push the hips backward, we're going to keep our back nice and flat. Notice I'm not rounding my back. So you may get all the way down to the ground. You may only get a foot off the ground. That's totally fine. We just want to push back, go as far as our hamstrings will let us go. Squeeze your butt, stand up. Back, squeeze your butt, stand up. And you are going to feel this mostly in your hamstrings. If you're feeling it in your lower back, go a little bit lighter or focus more on keeping your back nice and flat with that nice natural arch. Okay? Second thing we're going to do is called an overhead sit-up. Very simple. Overhead sit-up, you're going to take a bar or you're going to take a weight bar, your 45-pound bar, one of those padded body bars, whatever you have in your gym. Take the bar. This is actually something that we've shown before, so you can look under this channel to see how to do an overhead sit-up. We're going to grab the bar as wide as we can, dig our heels in the ground. We're going to slightly drop the bar, drive up, and put your head through at the top. So we're working hip and core strength, and we're also working shoulder flexibility. Some of you, when you come up, you might only be able to come here because you're not flexible. Really try to get the arms back. Get that barbell back behind your head. All right? That takes care of day 1. Now we're going to move on to day 2. All right, everyone. Now we're on to day 2. Day 2 is bench press. So same idea as squat. If you're an intermediate lifter, you're going to find a heavy set of 2 with perfect form. If you're an advanced lifter, you are going to do the same bench that you've done week 1 and week 2, and you're going to do that for a maximal set of 2. As heavy of a set of 2 as you can possibly get. For the beginner athletes, you're still going to be doing the same exercises as week 1 and week 2. Again, working on making it harder. So if you did a push-up on day 1 and you were able to only get, say, 15 push-ups, so then you went on to doing a push-up with your feet on a low box, you were able to only get 12, 14 push-ups. Now what you can do is you can elevate your feet and your hands. You can elevate your feet even higher. You can put, a 10-pound weight plate or 2 10-pound weight plates on your back and do push-ups with the added weight. You can even do it with, putting your backpack from school filled up with some books on your back. That's going to make it more difficult and make it so that you're getting a little bit less repetitions. So you heavier weight, less repetitions, building up over the 3 weeks. Once that's done, we're going to move on to our assistance movement. Now the assistance movement is, again, the same as we've done past couple weeks. We're going to work on an incline bench press, but we're going to do incline bench press with a pause. So all you're going to do is set up the incline bench, lower the dumbbells down to your shoulders. We're going to pause for a second or two, just like last week. Then we're going to explode up. Now you're going to notice the sets and the repetitions are different than last week. It's going to be in the email that you have accompanying this video. The sets and reps are set up in a way so that you can go with heavier weight for less repetitions, okay? So you're going to notice the exercises are the same, but the variables that change that make it harder are the sets and the reps. Now the assistance movements, the first assistance movement that you're going to do is a beyond the range push-up. So what you want to do, set up 2 boxes or set up 2 benches. We're going to get them so that they're just about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit wider. Hands on the benches, feet all the way out, body nice and flat. We're just going to do a regular style push-up with a big stretch down at the bottom. So we're going to get that stretch, push, stretch, push, stretch, push. Pretty easy, pretty basic, not too difficult, especially for the younger athletes because your hands are elevated. It's a little bit easier to do. You want to do, again, the sets and the reps that are in the email that accompanies this video. Okay? Last thing that you're going to do on your upper body day, on your pushing day, are Renegade Rows. Renegade Rows, again, pretty simple. We've got some dumbbells out here that we can show you. Renegade Rows are like backwards push-ups. So Renegade Rows, you're going to take 2 dumbbells, put them really close together, and then you're going to set up in a push-up position or a plank position with your feet really, really wide. And what you're going to do, even though it's not going to go anywhere, you push one dumbbell down, row the other. Push one down, row the other. We want to see that you're not pulling and twisting and using your hips. We want to see everything nice and straight. Push, pull, push, pull. Okay. Again, sets and reps are in the workout. Okay, so that takes care of day 2. Now we're going to move on to day 3. All right, now we're on to day 3. Day 3 is your deadlift day or your pulling day where you're lifting things off the ground. So, like on squat day, like on bench day, your deadlift, intermediate people, you're going to be going for a heavy set of 2 with perfect form. Especially on deadlift, it's always a good idea to go a little bit lighter than you think because, again, if you're not using perfect form, risk reward, we don't want you to get hurt. Okay? Advanced athletes, you've been doing this, again, 3-4 years if you're doing the advanced workout. And what we're going to do is ask you to go for a maximal double, a maximal set of 2. The heaviest weight possible that you can do for 2 repetitions. All right? The assistance movement, much like the assistance movements on squat day and your bench day, we're going to be doing the same assistance movement as last week. We are just going to be asking you to make it more difficult by going heavier. So that is your jumping lunges. So jumping lunges, last week, we asked you to put some weight in your hand. Week 1, a lot of you did it with just your body weight. Now we want you to make it more difficult. The sets and the repetitions are in the workout, and you'll see that the sets and repetitions that we're asking you to do are going to allow you to put a heavier dumbbell in your hand. So if you only did body weight last week, let's put a 5 or a 10-pound dumbbell in each hand. If you did 10-pound, 15-pound dumbbells last week, let's put a 20-pounder in your hand. Make it difficult. Flip back to the previous weeks, look at what you did, and challenge yourself and break a record. Okay? From there, your 2 finishing exercises for day 3. Your first finishing exercise is going to be a recline row. Essentially, all you're going to do is set up a bar in a power rack so that when you hang underneath it, your body is not touching the ground, it's just off the ground. We'll show you these. We actually did these, I think, on week 1 as part of our upper body day. So you're just going to hang underneath the bar. Notice there were some questions about this. You don't want your body on the ground. You want to set it up so that when you grab the bar, your body is just a couple inches off the ground. Pull your chest to the bar. And again, sets and reps are going to be right in the workout. Last thing you're going to do on day 3 is alternating dumbbell curls. A couple weeks we've been doing hammer, straight up and down, hammer curls. Alternating dumbbell curls, we're going to lift and twist the wrist so that the palm is facing the shoulder. Okay? Very simple. All we're going to do, 2 dumbbells. Elbow stays tight, so I don't want to see anybody swinging and using a lot of body English. We're just going to keep the elbow tight to the body. Try to keep that elbow very close to the rib cage, and we're twisting the hand as the dumbbell comes up. All right, so that takes care of the week 3 online team training. This is our off season. A lot of you have been signing up and asking to be part of the Facebook group. That is awesome. The Facebook group is taking off. A lot of people are posting up videos of them throwing that we can look at and critique. You see we have some great coaches who are leaving comments. We're answering questions. That is the community. Everybody asks for some type of chat room, some type of community where you can contact other throwers, ask your questions, get them answered quickly. That's how you do it. So sign up for the online team training. The link is right down below. You'll be asked to join the Facebook group. We'll get you in the group, get you started on your workouts, get you on your way to throwing some more PRs this season. All right? Hope to hear from you all soon. Any questions, you know what to do. Hit us up on the Facebook group, and we'll talk to you real soon.